Ja, herzlich willkommen zur neuen Ausgabe vom SI Talk. Ich bin in Vancouver, heute mein erstes Interview, erster Tag, und heute ist Asante Gold Corp und ich kenne den Tag ja schon seit Ewigkeiten, also wir kennen sich schon seit 10 Jahren oder so, und heute ist aber mit einer sensationellen Nachricht rausgekommen, ist ideal für mich geeignet, weil solche News hat man nur alle 5 Jahre einmal. Heute ist genau dieser Tag und ich bin extrem froh, dass ich hier sein kann. Ich bin Aktionär, also ich habe einen Conflict of Interest und ja, deswegen soll ich uns aber jetzt selber mal die News erzählen. Doug, I told in my German introduction that we know us many years.
Long time.
And I have a conflict of interest. I'm a shareholder of your company, and you're coming up. I think especially why I'm here, and you make this news release for me.
I did it for you. Yes, all for you.
Me. This is, I say, this kind of news release you have only in the company all a few years. That's not really often. So. Why? Please tell us a little bit about these news releases. You enter in the agreement with a joint venture, $9.5 million Canadian private placement for the Kubi gold project. So, where are your partners and how the deal looks like?
Yeah, okay, so Joe, as you know, we've been looking to fund Kubi for quite a few years, and my previous company, PMI Gold, we were trying to fund Kubi as well. And actually, I did find a potential joint venture partner for PMI, but by that time, I was no longer the president, and the board decided not to do it. And then, long story short, we ended up with Kubi again. So we started looking a couple of years ago. I made a trip to Beijing here just about a month ago. And this particular group is quite active in Ghana. They've been in Ghana for 10 years, and they have some of their principals have been in Ghana for 20 years. So they're they know the country, they know the mentality, the politics, and they're very happy to be making investments in Africa. This has always been an issue. Out of a group of 10 investors, you'll find 2 or 3 that are okay to invest in Africa. So these guys are very happy with Ghana. They have cash flow in Ghana, and they will use the cash flow in Ghana to fund the joint venture, which is spectacular. Yeah.
They have other projects, mining projects.
They have exploration projects in Ghana, but they don't have a super amount of mining expertise, and that's what makes this 50-50 so intriguing. They are a public listed company in China. They have access to capital. Now, yes, their business is mainly in the energy sector. However, they have a very large interest in gold. And of course, we all know China is the world's largest producer and the largest investor in the gold space. And with this one road, one belt, or one belt, one road policy of China, with basically hundreds of billions of dollars being invested in infrastructure worldwide, this is all part of it. And so having a Chinese partner, I think, is absolutely the right way to go. Now, in this particular case, this funding should get us through the initial stages of driving the portal, doing the surface works, driving the decline, doing the underground development, doing the upgrade drilling. Okay, so all of that should be through what this current funding will bring us. And then, basically, they have committed to providing whatever other financing is necessary after that point. So it'll be funding as loans to the joint venture, which means no further dilution to Asante. It'll be the joint venture that is signing the loan agreements, and we're 50-50, so we have control, on that.
So, do you have any idea how much financing you need after this?
Okay, our current plan is to go, as you know, by toll milling, and there's actually some developments on that front that I hopefully can share with you fairly soon. We had around a plan of $18 to $20 million required to get to cash flow. So this is a little bit short of that. But again, with their undertaking to provide the loans, not a problem. So basically, that funding should get us to cash flow in 12 months. That is the plan. Now, they reviewed our overview, and they said, I think we should build a shaft.
Mm-hmm.
This was the plan we had back for PMI in 2008, if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
We were going to put a shaft in. A shaft will add $10 or $15 million to the cost. And they also said we should build our own mill. Well, that'll add $10 or $15 million to the cost.
Mm-hmm.
And again, they said, look, these funds are available. And if this is the right thing to do, we're 50-50. We simply agree. Yes, let's build a shaft, let's do this, and off we go.
But the additional funding should run through a loan, not...
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So that'll be a loan to the JV. And if, in fact, we get our cash flow in 12 months, then it'll, quite a bit of that can be from cash flow.
So when the company makes the decision to build shaft and maybe the mill by its own or going for toll milling?
Yeah, that's right. So basically, I would say we still are going to proceed. We have to do the surface works. We've got to put the portal. We've got to drive the decline. So I would say in the next 6 months that decision would be made.
Mm-hmm. So that's mean in 6 months, PDEC time around?
That's about right, yeah.
Then we sit
Absolutely.
together
Absolutely.
and discuss what is now the way. Is the way to go toll milling, then it's the easiest way and you have enough money in the bank and can do it by your own, or you start with toll milling and then you build your own shaft and so on.
Absolutely. When we looked at the payback on building your mill or using the toll milling, it was about a 3-year payback.
Okay.
So to get into production, to do test milling and all of this and get some early cash flow would still seem to be advantageous to us.
Mm-hmm.
And then with, say, 3 years into the project, if the mill is there and you can increase production, increase recoveries, that's all good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
come a little bit to the economics from the project itself. How large it is, how much ounces there are, and what you're planning to produce out of it?
Okay, Kubi is a 350,000 ounce resource, of which 120,000 ounces is in the proven category.
Mm-hmm.
At 35 or 40,000 ounces a year, that's 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly then you have the indicated and the inferred, roughly the same amount, 120,000 ounces in each of those. We personally believe that the grade is going to be higher than is indicated in our current studies. And we also believe the upside is probably to 2 or 3 times that resource.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense to prove up 1 million ounces and dilute your company
mm-hmm.
when you've already got 10 years roughly of production in front of you, 30 to 40,000 ounces per year. It just makes no sense.
Absolutely agree with
Now,
that.
so where we're sitting is, assuming this deal all closes by the end of the year, which is our expected time frame.
Mm-hmm.
So then basically Kubi is looked after, and that will provide our guess is 5 to 10 cents per share cash flow to the company out of production. Now that's not huge, but it's certainly, cash flow to a junior to stop this continuous dilution is key. And you know me, we're very a little stingy on issuing too many shares in this company. We're trying to keep it very tight. Mm-hmm. We want the shares to perform and ultimately to pay dividends, and so to keep the share capital down. So there's 2 sides to the company, Kubi, and then there's the exploration side. Mm-hmm. And so Kubi, I think, is very nicely looked after with a good partner. Mm-hmm. So now we will use this development to, again, go perhaps and raise a few more dollars for working capital, and then we want to get the drill turning, because in this business, exploration discovery is what really fuels the shares. And so we have 2 projects ready to go on the drilling, the Betanazi and the Keyhole. And so I think we would love to get a drill turning within, say, a month on those projects.
But the new company, the joint venture partner, is then not involved. There's only involved in the Kubi project.
They're not involved except through, they'll have 2 seats on our board. Okay. And they are very market savvy. They are a public company. Mm-hmm. And
so if they're interested, they can also, and they have a 30% equity stake. So
absolutely.
So they are still involved also in this news.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And they've told us they would like to get involved in bigger projects in Ghana, and we're their 50-50 partner. So, we'll see where it goes. But it's just like PMI. PMI was a $10 million market cap for so many years. Now it's through Asanko, it's an $800 million market cap. So,
I think it was a great update. Congratulations.
Thank you
Great
so
deal.
much. Thank you.
Ja, ein wirklich interessanter Deal. Er hat es ja selber gesagt, also es ist eine chinesische Company, die dort investiert. Die sind auch schon sehr stark in Ghana generell involviert. Sie haben dort vor allem natürlich im Energiesektor sind die tätig, haben also nicht unbedingt das Mining-Expertise. Und deswegen brauchen sie auch PMI. Asante, jetzt bin ich falsch, selber wieder PMI rein. Aber das Interessante an dieser Struktur ist, dass die ein Joint Venture gründen, wo Asante 50% haben und die 50%. Und sie haben angekündigt, wenn es Sinn macht, dass man nicht über Tollmilling arbeitet, wo diese 19,5 Millionen eigentlich ausreichen würde, sondern wenn es Sinn macht, dass man ein Geschäft macht also, und eine eigene Mühle hinstellt, dann werden sie das auch finanzieren über einen Lohn, aber beim Joint Venture. Das heißt, es ist nicht verwässerungsfähig für die Asante Gold. Also das heißt, sie verwässern nicht die Aktienbasis. Und jetzt kommt der zweite Punkt, das ist das eine Kubi-Projekt. Damit ist das eigentlich, sage ich mal, durch und ausfinanziert. 10 Jahre Produktion, 30.000, 40.000 Unzen. What is the average to have cost to product an ounce of
It depends on the ultimate grade, which we won't know until we complete the resource to reserve upgrade drilling. The current cost is probably $1,000 an ounce all in.
Okay.
But if we can up the grade from 5.2 to say 7 grams, we don't have to mine the low grade first. We can mine higher grades, and then that can super lower that down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also die All-In-Kosten mit allem Drum und Dran $1,000 pro Unze, wobei er davon ausgeht, dass die Gehalte, die sie jetzt in ihrer Ressourcenschätzung haben, eher zu niedrig sind und dass sie höhere Gehalte haben. Sie können auch das höhergradige Erz als erstes auch verarbeiten, dann kommen die Kosten nochmal dramatisch runter. Und dann fängt natürlich die Explorationsarbeit an. Und mit diesem Partner könnte es natürlich sein, dass sie auch dort dementsprechend ihre Investitionen darin tätigen und er geht davon aus, dass schon in einem Monat oder 1,5 Monaten die erste Exploration starten wird in andere Gebiete, die nicht mit dem Kubi-Projekt zu tun hat. In 6 Monaten werden sie ungefähr, also dort bei der PDAC-Zeit, entscheiden, was sie machen wollen. Gehen sie mit Tollmilling oder machen sie eine eigene Mühle auf oder eigenen Shaft und so weiter. Also extrem spannende Company, die Kuh ist vom Eis, sagen wir mal so. Das Wichtigste ist, dass dieses Joint Venture steht und damit ist eigentlich die Finanzierung der Mine abgeschlossen bzw. in trockenen Tüchern und so einen Partner findet man natürlich nicht immer und ich muss ehrlich sagen, jetzt hat er das zweite Mal gemacht, bei PMI Gold hat er es schon bewiesen und Asante Gold ist mehr oder weniger die nächste Firma, die wirklich auf dem Sprung ist. Schauen Sie die Aktie an. Jetzt kann man es wahrscheinlich noch billig einsammeln. Es wird auch noch immer wieder Verkäufe kommen, weil natürlich noch immer Leute nicht an den Deal glauben und da kann man wahrscheinlich wirklich billig eine Firma noch abschauen. Jupp, das war's von Asante Gold, von mir und wie gesagt, vergessen Sie nicht, ich habe Conflict of Interest, bin Aktionär des Unternehmens. Tschüss.